I'm going to show you how to get from your beginning in the survival game all the way to full steel armor. I'm gonna give you useful tips and tricks and just show you the many different game mechanics so you don't get too overwhelmed. Let's start. This is the main menu. You're gonna see this as soon as you join the survival game. You can see the update log right here. And this is the voting tab. You can vote for what's gonna be the next update right here. You get one vote every 10 minutes you play. Alright, press play, and you're gonna get thrown into this spawn menu. You can customize your character right here by adjusting your hair and facial hair. You can even change your face and the color of all the different things. Note that there is a game pass which allows you to use more faces and custom colors. This is completely cosmetic and won't change anything of your gameplay experience. So, now that you've customized your avatar, press spawn. As you can see, I spawned in the desert, on one of the spawn islands. There are many different ones, and you'll randomly spawn on one of them every time you press the spawn button. There's a short in-game tutorial. You're gonna have to equip your sharp rock right here by pressing 1 or clicking on the hotbar slot. Then, you're gonna want to chop down any of these trees right here. As you can see down here, the tree drops some wood and leaves. Open the basic crafting menu by pressing C or clicking on this button. This is the crafting system TSG uses. TSG is a short form of the survival game, by the way, and gets used by most of TSG players. Anyway, craft your building hammer by first selecting the specific square and then keeping the crafted button pressed. If this button right here doesn't show up for you, you can also just hold the square itself. Every item you've crafted is gonna go into your inventory. To open that, press E or click this button with the backpack icon. Let me explain this inventory GUI real quick. Right here, you can see all your items. On the left side, you can filter 4 different categories like tool, armor, and food. These slots right here are for your armor, your backpack, and your shield. There are also cosmetic items, which you can buy with an in-game material, gold coins. There are some codes too, which I'm going to show you later in this video. To continue the in-game tutorial, select this button and put it into your hotbar. You can either do this by dragging it from here into one of your slots, or by clicking the equip button and selecting which hotbar slot you want your hammer to be in. You can put it into your second slot for now. Let me introduce you to TSG's building mechanic. Equip your hammer. Then, press B or click on this Change Building button to open the building menu. This looks just like the crafting menu you've seen before. But you select buildings. Your goal to finish the tutorial is to build a basic raft. Select the boats menu on the bottom of your screen, and then click on the raft icon. As you can see, a red raft model appears. You can place it by aiming with your screen or your mouse and then clicking. You can only place boats on water. Makes sense? With this, you've successfully completed the in-game tutorial. And you can even get a badge when sitting in the raft. Anyway, I recommend you chop down some more trees and bushes. You're gonna need a lot of wood and leaves. It's always handy if you have some of them. Alright, right here, on the top right of your screen, you can see your health bar and your hunger bar, which is probably not on the max anymore. You need to eat some food because you're gonna die if this bar reaches 0. You might have seen some of those berry bushes already. You can eat them, just equip them in your hotbar and click to once to eat them. You can also eat mushrooms. And there's a lot of other food in this game. It's quite insane, to be honest. I'm going to focus on getting good equipment in this episode right here though, and I'm going to show you cooking and stuff in another one. You can, of course, always explore stuff by yourself. This tutorial series is only intended to provide a basic overview of how the game works. Alright, let's grind for our first set of tools real quick. Search for one of these stones and mine it. Oh, by the way, you can also play everything I'm going to show in this tutorial on a private server too. Private servers are free, and they even save your buildings. Public servers don't do that, and they delete your buildings 20 minutes after you left the game. I'd still recommend you start playing TSG on public servers. This game builds a lot on interaction with other players, and you don't get that if you play on your private server. Just be careful. People with better armor can and probably will kill you. I'm gonna talk about this more later though. Me, for my part, I had to switch to my private server unfortunately, since my internet connection is pretty bad. I mean, look at this other player. Alright, I just spawned on my private server, and as you can see, the game put me on another spawn island this time. This one already looks way better than the desert one, and there are chickens. Yes, you could kill them for food, but I would never. That was a lie. Just don't eat the raw chicken, because this one damages you. Alright, the next mechanic of TSG. And this one is pretty important, so make sure to listen carefully. As you can see, there is a text saying I advanced to level 2 or something. Let me explain this. If you press V or click this button, this GUI opens up. This is your skill tab. There are 4 different skills: mining, woodcutting, crafting, and food. If you get every single one of them to level 25, you're going to be able to rebirth. But don't attempt this yet. You're gonna need way better gear than you have right now. Alright, so you're gonna want to build a workbench. Open your hammer menu and select the production tab. If you click on the crafting table icon, you can see what materials you need to place it. 5 wood and 2 of these things. They are ropes. Quite a few TSG players start to struggle right here. Where should they get ropes from? Open your basic crafting menu, press C or this button. And here you go. It's pretty much right next to the hammer. It only costs leaves, which you should have enough of by now. Let me explain how TSG crafting works a little bit more. So, as soon as you produced an item, the other stuff around it is gonna unlock, which also affects to the hammer menu, and the cooking menu and so on. This is a pretty nice feature, since it assures that you have to explore pretty much everything of the game, at least the different items, if you want to progress. This was session 1 of my recordings, so, the next day, I spawned on an Arctic spawn island. I'm just gonna warn you real quick, don't go into this biome at the start. There will be snowstorms every once in a while, and you're going to have to build a campfire to survive it. So just don't go there if you have no good equipment. I built a raft and traveled to the mainland. That's the biggest land biome of TSG. It's basically grass, trees and mountains. I'm gonna build my camp right here, I think. So, let's place my workbench, which I can now afford, down. Let's also just place a campfire, which we're gonna use pretty soon. Walk up to the crafting table and interact with the proximity prompt. And as you can see, this is basically an extended basic crafting menu. Thing you want to do now is craft some tools. You want to unlock these 3 slots, so craft 1 tool handle. And as you can see, this unlocked the stone pickaxe. Make sure to craft that one too, as well as the now unlocked stone axe. And you can make a shovel too. That one is gonna be useful for farming later. Equip your new stone tools to the hotbar. You don't need the sharp rock anymore. If you now try to chop down a tree, this is gonna be so much faster than if you did it with the sharp rock. Alright, we now need a food source. You can't just always walk around and farm berries from bushes. So, equip your shovel and click on this till soil button. Then, aim where you want to build your farmland. You can rotate it by pressing R or clicking those buttons. Once you have a bit of farmland, click on this icon right here. You have 5 different options of crops. You probably don't have all of them yet. They grow pretty much everywhere on the mainland. So just walk around a bit and break it with your axe if you see a new crop. 1 already collected some wheat, a few berries and 4 cabbage. So, you can eat every single one of these except wheat. And don't eat peppers, they just damage you. You should prioritize cabbage, since that one heals you the most, so I'ma do exactly that. Alright, now as we wait for our plants to grow, let's actually build a bed. Open your hammer menu and go to the production tab. Craft all the materials you need for it and place it down. Now, if you walk on it, you can set your spawn point. If you die, you can now select the bed spawn option in the spawn menu. Or you can always do that on private servers, since structures save there and with them your bed spawn. You also heal up and regenerate hunger when sleeping, which is helpful if you're really low on hunger and just need to wait for your crops to grow. And let's go. Our plants right here finish growing. This is how every crop has to look so you can farm it. You collect the different food with an axe or the scythe, but you haven't unlocked that yet. At the end of this video, you'll have that one though, which is gonna help you a ton with farming. Alright, let's eat a few cabbages to regenerate some hunger. But don't eat all of it, you're gonna always need some to replant. Don't forget to do that, by the way, you're gonna need a lot of food in this game. Now, let's take a look at the campfire. Don't walk into the flame, you're gonna catch on fire and get damage. As you can see, you can convert your raw chicken, which you might not have by the way, into cooked chicken. You can eat that without risking death now. Alright, let's unlock the other stuff from our crafting table now. Next to the hammer, there's your first weapon, the wooden club. Build that one and you're gonna get an achievement. You'll also unlock the stone knife, but you need this new material. This is hide or leather, whatever you want to call it. You get it from many different animals. You also need leather for your first armor, the leather armor. But you can craft a map right here. Equip it and hold it. Then, click on your screen once, and this GUI is going to open. This is the map of TSG. Much of it is gonna be blurred out. You'll unlock those parts when traveling there. So, to unlock the whole map, you're going to have to explore basically the whole map, which is awesome. As you can see, I first spawned in the desert, then on this small spawn island, and in this session, right here on this Arctic island. I then drove over here with my raft. The functionality of this map is pretty self-explanatory. My crops are finished again, let's farm and replant them again. Let's increase the size of this farmland a bit and plant even more cabbage. Anyway, let's finish the crafting table, at least the stuff that doesn't require leather. So, craft a wooden rod to unlock the bow. You can craft that one as well, to unlock the recipe for arrows. Arrows are expensive, so don't waste them for now. Oh, here we go. I got this achievement by playing for 30 minutes without attacking or being attacked. I'm extremely low on hunger as well. I'll actually show you what happens if your hunger reaches 0 real quick. First, you get this message that you're starving. Then, you get slow damage. Not much, so you can easily stop this by eating some food. Cabbage, of course. Let me show you how the bow works. So, bows are extremely good in TSG. It's pretty much the main weapon you're going to use if you really focus on PvP well. Of course not this basic bow right here. You're gonna unlock much better ones in the future, but they all work pretty much the same. Equip it and hold your mouse button to aim. The more you're charging, the more damage your arrow is going to deal. Release the click to fire the arrow. Can you see those deers over there? Let's try to shoot them. Alright, hit this shot. But now, I'm out of arrows. As you've probably noticed, the 5 hotbar slots down here are not enough. At least not if you want to equip tools, food, map, bow and hammer. To fix this issue, click on this setting wheel right here. Then, you can select how many hotbar slots you want to have. Personally, I have this set to 10, but you can, of course, keep this lower. If you close this menu, you're not gonna see the new slots. But as soon as you open your inventory, those will show up, and you can equip more things to them. Let's come to the last thing you gotta do to complete the Stone Age. Get the remaining crafting stuff, armor, and this stone knife. You need leather for this. So, let's walk over to these deers and start hitting them without club. This is not the easiest because they run away from you, but they'll always walk back to their spawn location after a while. Just do this over and over again, so you can collect some meat and leather. Oh, we found carrots. So now, we have unlocked 4 of 5 different crops. Also make sure to not get in the trigger area of hostile animals. For example, this wolf, I didn't stand a chance and died. Well, at least I got an achievement LOL. As you can see, there's a bed spawn button now since you've set your respawn point. You also see a damage log right here. Time to explain the consequences of dying. As you can see, I didn't lose a lot. If you die in TSG, you only lose your combat-related items. So, that's the wooden club and the bow in my case. I'd also lose the armor if I made one yet. Luckily, I'm making it after this unlucky death. But first, the knife. It unlocks a shield. But to be honest, I never really use shields. But I'm no PvP pro, so I don't know. It's up to you. The stone knife is already much stronger. I was able to get revenge on the wolf right here. Alright, let's craft this leather chestplate. Alright, you've unlocked this item right here now. This is the first backpack, the leather one. Always prioritize this one, since you don't lose it on death. If you now open your inventory, you can equip it into this slot, and as you can see, this number down here increased. This is basically the number of items you can take with you. But don't worry, if you have more than the limit in your inventory, you'll just have a decreased walk speed. You can also equip your chestplate to this slot. Armor is basically just gonna decrease the amount of damage you get from almost everything. There are a few exceptions, but nothing that you're gonna get in contact in this tutorial. Let's also just craft the remaining parts of the armor. And as you might see, the helmet doesn't fit that good. Depends on what face you're using though. There's a way to hide your helmet. Just cosmetically hide it. You're still gonna have the decreased damage effect of it. To do that, open your inventory and switch to the Cosmetics tab. There, you can hide your helmet and your hair. Do whatever you want here. I personally prefer to show my hair and keep my helmet hidden. Alright, let me show you an effective way to get many cosmetic items. Open this menu right here by pressing Y or clicking on this icon. It's the Achievements menu. All the badges TSG has are listed here as well. The ones that are blacked out are the badges you already obtained. Some of them do have a cosmetic item right here. You can collect that one by clicking on it. And just like that, I've unlocked the pitchfork and the flower crown. I guess I'm gonna equip the pitchfork for now. Do that by dragging them into one of these cosmetic slots. You have 3 of them. Right here is a good spot to show you a really good method to get quite a few free cosmetic items, codes. To redeem them, go to the Cosmetic tab of your inventory, and then click this button. Let me give you all the codes real quick. Use I will survive to get the grey wolf pelt hat. I love survival for the matching cape. Mango is awesome for these super cool mango wings, and antlers of doom for these, well, antlers. Hoopy is epic, gives you this really good looking magenta star crown. TANQ is awesome for this tanker themed cosmetic item. Bandite is epic for the bandite's bandana. And finally, Magma Mighty to add these lava horns to your cosmetic collection. This gives you a basic collection of cosmetics you can use to customize your avatar with. Alright, you've successfully beaten the Stone Age now. But this is nowhere near the end. But to get to full steel armor, you're gonna have to unlock the Bronze Age next. In the Production tab of your hammer menu, you can see this branch right here. These are all the different workstations. Each tool and armor set has one. The crafting table for the stone tools, and now the copper smithy for the copper set. Make sure to craft all the needed items for this and place it somewhere in your little base. All of the materials you need can be crafted in the workbench menu, so that shouldn't be a problem. Access the copper smithy crafting menu by interacting with the proximity prompt again. So, this is basically how every crafting station's crafting tree is built up. In the middle, the square where you can craft the bar from the raw ore. Here's some special items that vary from crafting station to crafting station. The armor here, the tools here, and the weapons here. You need 1 raw copper to craft a copper bar. Of course, you can find copper basically everywhere on the map, mostly in caves. But I'm going to show you the best spot to farm this material right now. Oh yeah, I also crafted a torch with 4 coal. You don't need this, but it's better for the video. Oh yeah, in case you wonder where my armor went, I lost it to a bear. Was pretty stupid to be honest. I didn't look where I was going. Anyway, craft a raft and drive to this huge mountain. This location is called Colossal Statues, by the way. I just call it the Statue Mountain though. Alright, on the left side of this mountain, walk to this cave entrance. But be careful, there's a hostile wolf right here. But in this cave, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 copper ores. Make sure to wait till they respawn and mine all of them one more time. I didn't do this right here and ended up having too little copper. I even was attacked by the wolf, but managed to get rid of it by fleeing over the mountain top. I then drove back to my main camp. Oh yeah, in case you don't remember where it is, you can leave a location marker on your map. Do that by aiming at the position where you want to put it, and then clicking this button. And just like this, I'll never forget where my base is located again. Do note that these markers don't save when leaving the game though. Alright, let's make copper equipment. So, I'd highly recommend you to craft stuff in this order. First, obviously, the copper bar. Then, make the tools. You don't lose them on death, and they're the most useful. After that, make sure to craft a chest plate so you unlock the backpack. Craft that one, then, you can make a sword. If you have enough ore left then, you can make the remaining armor and maybe even a bow. And a shield if you want. I had enough for the tools, the backpack, a sword, and all of the armor pieces except of the helmet. But that isn't that important since I'm hiding it anyway. And as you can see, copper tools are already way faster than stone tools or the sharp rock. Alright, not much left to do in the Bronze Age anymore. Let's straight advance to iron equipment. So, iron is already rarer than all the previous ores. There are a few main spots on the map. Most of them only have 3 iron ores in it. But I'm going to show you the one that has 5 ores. Note that this one comes with a bear in it. Anyway, let's place down our iron forge. This is by far the most expensive one yet. As you can see, it's pretty much the same as the copper smithy, but with iron, of course. Alright, so, before we can go to the dangerous bear cave, I'm gonna have to show you another game mechanic. So, if you go swim on the water, you might notice this button. Press F or click it to dive down. You have to stand still to do so, by the way. Wait a few seconds and you're gonna be able to dive freely. You can do this on every water surface. But always keep an eye on this oxygen bar right here when diving. Once this reaches 0, you're gonna take damage just like if your hunger runs out, but way more. Feel free to explore the underwater biome a bit if you want to. Alright, place a raft and drive to the Statue Mountain again. But this time, go in between the 2 sides. There, you'll find this cave entrance. Follow where I go real quick. You should get to a little water pound like this right here and right after that one, this massive boulder. This is gonna take quite a while to mine. Do that until the boulder health reaches almost 0%. Note that right behind this stone is an aggressive bear, which is gonna jump at you right after you broke the boulder. My strategy to defeat it is to dive into the water in the little water area. You can heal up in the water and then go up again to damage the bear. It should be no problem then. Alright, let's break it, run, and dive. Alright, 30 HP, I gotta heal up real quick. And now, go kill the bear. And here we go. It worked perfectly. The way is now free for you to mine these 5 iron ores. And here we go, 15 iron. Make sure to get away from this cave again, because soon, the boulder and the bear are going to respawn. And you don't want to be locked in this cave together with an aggressive bear. Alright, back at the base camp. Let's craft our iron stuff. Those 15 iron definitely won't be enough for everything, but it's enough for the tools, the chest plates, and luckily even the backpack. Alright, here we go. We got everything we really need for our Iron Age. Only 2 things left now. Get full steel armor and tools, as well as get 1 rebirth. Here's what I propose we're doing. Get the steel tools first, then farm our rebirth. And then I'm going to show you the best method to get a lot of steel, because you're gonna need that if you want to get a full set. That's still quite some work to do. So let's start this grind. Alright, let's build the by far most expensive workstation yet, the steel smelter. We're gonna need that to craft our steel tools and armor, obviously. You get the materials in the previous workstations, especially the iron one. Here we go. Let's take a look at the crafting recipes. Here's the farming scythe, which I talked about earlier in this video. 1 steel bar costs 10 iron ore and 5 coal. I do have enough to craft one right now. Let's just do that real quick. So, let's start our iron and coal farm strategy. You have to go to the Statue Mountain once again. We're gonna use the same iron cave again, but this time, we start our route right here. Also, for this strategy, you have to be on a private server since structures save there. This tip is honestly one of the best farming strategies for almost all materials, so make sure to take notes, or just keep it in your mind lol. Alright, you're gonna farm this coal or right here, this one right there, and then break the boulder. This is already way faster, since you have iron tools now. Oh yeah, for the bear, I'm just gonna make a copper sword. I found that is like the least expensive weapon you need to safely get rid of the bear. Kill the bear once it attacks, and then mine the 5 iron ores. Pretty easy, right? Now you have to wait until all the ores respawn, or don't you? Well, remember that structures save on private servers, also beds, even the spawn point. So what? If we set our spawn point here, then leave the server and rejoin. Here we go. All the ores are back. This is the most effective way to basically skip any naturally spawning ores respawn time. Awesome. Let's do the same again. Mine the coal, break the boulder, kill the bear and mine the iron. For the bear, I found that you can just basically spam hit it with your copper sword, and you should still have like half of your health points after that. Alright, let's leave the server and repeat that for quite some time. You can watch this video right here, while you farm your iron if you want lol. Let me show you the results of my farming session real quick. Just over 100 coal and almost 250 iron. That's enough to make the steel tools. That's almost too much to be honest, but you can never have too much steel. You're gonna need that for basically everything from now on. To be honest, I also just farmed until my mining level was at 25. Alright, back at our steel smelter. Let's craft the steel pickaxe, the steel axe. Let's also craft the farming scythe. I'm gonna show you why this is so good for leveling up the food level in a second. But first, let's also make the chest plate so we can craft the backpack. As you can see, this is the one with the most increase in storage space yet. Let's replace our iron pickaxe and the axe without new steel tools as well. And let's also put on our steel chest plate, why not? So, for the scythe, let's let this cabbage grow real quick. And as you can see now, you can harvest a rows of cabbage at the same time. And it automatically collects the crops. It's insanely useful for farming. I highly recommend you craft this one. You also don't use it on death, so this is the point where you rebirth. I'm gonna link the video with the fastest rebirth strategy at the end of the video, because I just want to show you what you're gonna do after you rebirth like I did right here. This won't take a lot of time, trust me, by the Friend of the Forest rebirth perk. I recommend you to do that, so the bear in the cave won't attack you any longer. The sharks in the water or the wolf won't either. It's really useful. So, after you got that perk, go back into the iron cave I showed you. You want to place your bed directly in it now. And then repeat the bed spawn, leave, rejoin strategy. You don't need to break the boulder now, which speeds it up by a lot. Then, you just need some more coal. You're gonna want to go to this location right here. Then, follow me path real quick. This cave has 3 coal ore, which makes it really good to farm that resource. Repeat the same thing you did with the iron. And now, you're gonna have enough materials to craft the remaining steel bars. And just like this, full steel. It's not that difficult as it looks like in the beginning. If I was able to help you in any way with this tutorial, consider liking the video. If the next part is already out, it's linked on the screen right here. If not, you can farm more steel in the meantime. You're gonna need a lot in the next episode. Alright, I'm gonna leave a link to the game in the description by the way. Thank you so much for watching and bye. Subscribe.